Howdy YouTube, welcome back. This is Donating Horsepower. So just to give you guys the crystal clear picture on receiving this 92 Miata that I'm currently sitting in, if you are a subscriber, then you have a chance to win. That's all you got to do. Now, you have to be a public subscriber, because when I go into YouTube Studio and I look at my subscriber list, it only shows public subscribers. So if you're a non-public subscriber, I can't see your name, so I can't put your all's name in the whatever container to pick a random name for you to have a chance. So May 25th is a Saturday. I'm shooting for that day to announce the winner, whoever I pick, and I will also direct message that person on YouTube here. And if you respond within 24 hours, you will receive the DOHO, you'll receive the 92 Miata. If you don't, I'll pick another name, and that person will have 24 hours to respond. So a few things to give you an update on what you're getting if you so decide to subscribe. You will be getting a 1992 Mazda Miata. It has just over 184,000 miles, 184,108 to be specific. I do use this as a daily driver, and once I get rid of it, then the Civic right there, SI, will be my daily driver. And things I've done, I have done replace the differential, because that went out on me. It now has a viscous LSD differential from a different 1.6 liter 90 to 93 Miata, and so I've heard they're kind of stronger than the open diff, which was previously in this car, but they're not as strong as the other limited slip differentials. So it works. That's all that I'm worried about right now. So I've replaced that. I have the old one. The housing has a crack in it, and all the fluid leaked out, and a piece of one of the gears chipped off and went ding 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 ding, grenaded the whole diff. So I have the old diff still. I will give it to the donee if they would like it, because I have no further use for it. You can have the housing, the old diff, all the bolts, hardware, whatever. It doesn't make any difference to me. Also, the old half shafts, where the two that slide into the diff, I have those. Those are still good. The reason they're out of the car is because the viscous LSD that I bought came with half shafts and axles. So because those are different splines for the viscous and compared to the open diff. So I have open diff half shafts, which are still good. So I'll just give them to you guys. I mean, I could maybe sell them for a small amount of money. I'm not really worried about it. What else? The differential, there was something I did right before that. That was like the first thing I did. Valve cover gasket, yes. So Mazda Miatas are notorious for leaking oil out of the valve cover gasket, or out of the valve cover, so I replaced the valve cover gasket. So that's still holding up. Definitely will be holding up for a while. The previous owner did a lot of maintenance to it. I'm not exactly sure the whole list, but under the hood, on the back side of the hood, you'll see the mileage that they replaced the timing belt. I'm not sure if they also replaced the water pump at the same time, because usually those go hand in hand. But the timing belt was done at 170 something thousand miles, so very recently in the age of the car. So that's good to know. Other things, I plasticked up the car, as you've seen in some of the previous videos. Oh, and all these things I'm listing off that I've done, I've filmed for the most part. Little odds and ends here I might have not filmed. So I plastered up the car, still holding up, still looks good. Of course, you can peel it off if you want to, whoever the donee is. That's pretty good. What else? Oh, shifter fluid and tranny fluid I replaced. So those are both pretty new. The transmission, I believe, has like a very, very slight leak. The oil, I'm not sure if it's the oil pan gasket where the oil pan meets the block is slightly leaking, but there's some kind of oil leak. And of course, Miatas are just notorious for their oil leaks as they get older. So just top it off with 5W30. let's see, what else? What else? Oh, I was chasing a coolant leak. I was afraid it was the water pump, and luckily it wasn't, and still isn't. I did replace the thermostat housing gasket. I also went in and replaced the thermostat while I was in there. So the DOHO will also get the old thermostat, which still works. So you have a backup one, you know, in case this one later down the road fails you if you're still driving this car well past 200,000 miles, which I think someone could totally do that. This car's pretty freaking great. Really fun, you know, just takes regular 87 octane gas. The cheapest I filled up in this car is probably like 17 bucks. And, you know, granted I wasn't, you know, down close to E. I was maybe a little over a quarter of a tank, but it's just funny, like, oh yeah, less than 20 bucks, fill up your Miata, and then you're on your way. So I did that. Oh yeah, the other part of the coolant leak was the upper radiator hose. Turns out I didn't need to get a new hose cut at Advanced Auto Parts. I just needed a new hose clamp. So I got one of those. They came in a set of 2, so I have an extra hose clamp. Actually, my phone is sitting on the hose clamp, so I can have the phone sitting up above the steering wheel here. So extra hose clamp right there. Oh yeah, there's some very slight brake fluid leak. So I have your .3 brake fluid here. So that's included with the car. I just top it off every once in a while. Oh yeah, and then when I thought the coolant was leaking out of the radiator, I did have this bars leak. Now I know you're not supposed to put too much of this in there, or else it might clog up your radiator. So as you can see, I barely used, you know, a quarter of it at most. So I mean, I'm not gonna have any use for this. So I'm just gonna give it to the DOHO as well, because if, you know, later down the road if my Civic Si leaks out of the radiator, I'm just gonna go ahead and replace it, be a big boy, because I'm, you know, earning more money nowadays. So that's pretty cool. So that you'll get that. It has upgraded stereo here. I can show you that. The risk of messing up my mount system going on. Just a Kenwood that came with the car. It sounds really great. Not gonna play any music because of, you know, YouTube copyright, Or actually, I could play for like less than 30 seconds, but I mean, whatever. Anything else? So yeah, like I said, all you have to do is be a subscriber. It's really, I'm not gonna make you guys jump through hoops. Oh, like comment or join or whatever all that stuff is. You know, do your thing. And there might have been one other thing that I've done this car that I can't think of off the top of my head, but you can see my DOHO 2 playlist on my channel. It has everything I've been doing to the car, really basically fixing it up besides the paint job in terms of, you know, repair. And I'll try to maybe make a few other videos. It has a Flam Miata exhaust on it from the previous owner, so it has a, you know, nice tone, but it's just a 4-cylinder, so I mean, I'd rather post 8-cylinder exhaust clips. Obviously I don't have an 8-cylinder V8 in my life right now, but that will change in the future for sure. Yeah, I might make a few other videos in the Miata right up until May 25th. I'll let you guys know if anything changes by another, you know, video update. If I have to work overtime that Saturday, May 25th, and then I won't be able to connect up with the, I guess reach out to the DOHO, whoever wins it. And oh yeah, so after I announce the DOHO, then I'll make another video after May 25th, just like where they meet me in person or wherever, and I give them the car and hand the key. There's only one key. Previous owner only had one key. I mean, it's whatever. You could get yourself another key cut. It's just this is literally all there is. There's no keyless entry or anything. It's just a key from '92. What do you expect? So yeah, I'll make a second video actually giving the car to the person once that happens after May 25th. And after that, I probably will take a break from the DOHO scene, because, you know, I'm saving up to move out of my parents' house. But in the meantime, I will still make Elio updates, you know, in the off chance that they actually make the Elio. That'd be great. and any other car videos I want to make. So those actually get way more views than these DOHO videos, which is pretty funny, but it's alright. You know, people watch what they want to watch. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Even if you're just trying to win the DOHO, even if you're trying to win the Miata, that's cool, you know. I mean, that's the parameters I set. Oh yeah, last thing, before I started making the DOHO 2 videos, I did replace the soft top while I was working at a Ford shop. I was working in the service department, so I brought it in after work, replaced the soft top, and I put new wiper blades on it just a couple weeks ago, because the rubber on the old wiper blades literally was splitting, and like the pieces of rubber were swirling around in circles coming off of the wiper blades. I definitely needed new wiper blades. And the pop-up headlights, they're a little finicky, and what I mean by that is sometimes you flip the lights on the stalk and they don't come up. They turn on, but they don't flip up or pop up. And when that happens, then when you flip the stalk to turn the lights off, sometimes the pop-up headlights don't go down. So then you have to play with this button right below the hazard button in the center console. You just have to like keep pushing it until the headlights finally go down. So that happens every once in a while. And there's like a slight rattle that I hear when I kind of put it in neutral and coast down, and then as I put it in first and as I'm just leaving off from a stop, there's some rattle. I really can't figure out what it is, but as soon as you're off the speed, and shifting through the gears, then it goes away. So I mean, it might be a normal thing, or it could be some issue that's kind of unique. But yeah, that's about it. And let me know in the comments what you guys if you've had any experiences with getting your first fun car or first stick shift car, and how that's been for you guys. And that's kind of what I'm kind of trying to do here with donating the Miata, because this is my first car I learned stick shift on, and I'd like to pass it on to maybe a beginner or someone who loves Miatas and wants to take care of it, or turn into a track car or drift car or spec Miata, whatever, or just likes to drive convertibles with the top down. And yeah, that's really about it. So again, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing if you are. I'll see you guys on May 25th or sooner if I make other content about whatever else. See you.